How's it going, folks? This is Mike, and I'm back after a little bit of a hiatus. I think it's been about 3 weeks, maybe more, since I've done a video. So, welcome back to me, I guess. So part of the reason I've been away is that I went to a Star Trek convention in Chicago, not this past weekend. Today is Monday, September 25th, and it was the weekend before that I went. So I was kind of very busy planning everything, get everything squared away before I went to the convention. And then getting back is always a little strange, getting back into the normal flow of life rather than playing Star Trek. It's not that easy. So anyway, I usually start these videos 5 or 6 times because I make mistakes or I don't like the way I do things. But this time I'm just going to keep the camera rolling and just whatever comes out of my head and my mouth, I'll just keep the camera rolling and not worry about it. So look out. Here we go. A couple of things before I start the main subject for the video. Let me show you a couple of things I've bought recently. I went to the disc replay shop here in Champaign tonight, and I picked up 3 used items. First, I finally got around to getting the last J.J. Abrams produced Star Trek film, Star Trek Beyond. Got this for $5 on Blu-ray. And I picked up a couple of classic films on DVD. One is Suddenly Last Summer from 1959, based on a Tennessee Williams play. Elizabeth Taylor, Montgomery Clift, and Katharine Hepburn in a truly weird Southern Gothic story. If you've never seen this, it's very, very strange. But it's good because it has 3 good actors in it. I also picked up a classic film from 1939 that I've never seen. This is Golden Boy, starring Barbara Stanwyck and William Holden in his first movie. And I've heard a lot of good things about this. It's based on a script, a screenplay, or a story, or a play, I guess it is, by Clifford Odets. And it was, yeah, this is a nice little slipcase 75th anniversary edition. I may just throw away the slipcase because I've got this price label on there, which is not going to come off unless I tear it. So, and I also got a couple of CDs in the mail this week. For those of you who still collect CDs, 2 CDs by Lindsey Buckingham of Fleetwood Mac. One is called The Gift of Screws, and the other is called Seeds We Sow. Fairly recent solo albums by Lindsey Buckingham, whom I like very much. I think he's a great guitar player and a very intense musician. So got some good music going on. So the subject for the video is Mike at the Movies. Yesterday I went to see the new Darren Aronofsky film, Mother, which stars Jennifer Lawrence, Javier Bardem, Ed Harris, and Michelle Pfeiffer, 4 very good actors. And as far as Darren Aronofsky goes, I've seen, let's see, 4 of his movies. I've seen Pi, Requiem for a Dream, The Wrestler. No, I've seen 5. The Fountain, and The Black Swan. Now, I like Pi very much. I loved Requiem for a Dream, although it's one of the most depressing movies ever made. I also like The Wrestler. Again, a very downbeat film, but a very well-made film. The Fountain was, well, I only saw it once, and I don't remember that much about it. But I remember liking it, but I think it was kind of excessive. I don't know. And I'm not sure I ever care to see it again. The Black Swan I did not care for. I know it was a very acclaimed film for the time and was up for awards, and I know it won at least one award for Best Actress, Natalie Portman. I just didn't care for it very much. But anyway, so this film is being classified as a horror film, and I guess that's fair. It certainly starts out as a somewhat typical horror film atmosphere. A married couple living in a creepy old house, and the wife is constantly walking around, hearing noises and has a worried look on her face, and she's slowly approaching doors and pulling them open, you know, etc., etc. Things you've seen before. But then, of course, it morphs into something very, very different than just a horror film. Now, I'm not going to give away any spoilers because I know that a lot of people probably haven't seen this yet. And I know there are a lot of people that I'm connected with on YouTube and Facebook who love horror films, and they will probably want to see this either in the theater or when it comes out on DVD, Blu-ray. So I'm not going to give anything away, just to give my own personal impressions. I think this was one of the most excessive adventures in filmmaking that I've ever seen a director pull off. Now, I suppose it shouldn't surprise me, being Darren Aronofsky. He threw something like $31 million at this film, I guess, and he throws a lot of stuff in there, a lot of movement. The first half of the film is quite different than, let's say, the last half, or at least the last 1/3. It gets very, very intense. A lot of property damage and a lot of ugliness, quite frankly. And I have to say that my overall impression of the film is very negative. I didn't understand it. I guess I'm just not that smart, but I didn't understand it while I was watching it. I had some ideas what they were trying to do, but I had to go home afterward and get online and find. Well, I went to Wikipedia. I thought that would be the best place to start to understand certain things about the plot that I wasn't getting by watching it, and some statements by Jennifer Lawrence talking about who her character was supposed to be representing. So then I got it. I got the idea and the vision that Aronofsky was trying to share with us. Okay, so, and in a way, it's a very important vision. I'm not sure I agree with his approach, but I would have to say that, wow, I don't want this to turn into some kind of a rant against, modern movies and all the graphic violence. I don't like violence, and everybody knows that. Everybody that has listened to me before knows how I feel about graphic gore or graphic violence. I'm not impressed by it. I'm sickened by it most of the time. That is not the reason why I go to the movies. That is not the reason why I bring things home and leave them on my shelf in a place of honor. I don't look for things like that, which is why I don't see a lot of modern horror movies. Now, a friend of mine kind of challenged me to go see this with him. We both have seen several films by Aronofsky and have liked some of his stuff in the past. And I have read at least, well, my local film critic, Chuck Koplinski, who teaches my film classes, gave it a very positive review. So that kind of piqued my interest. And then I began to hear things about people walking out of the theater because they were so offended or they were so disgusted by something that was going on screen. So I had a little bit of trepidation about going. But I finally decided that I wanted to join my friend for this film, and I wanted to challenge myself. So that's what I did. And I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that I saw it. But my opinion is still rather negative. And all I will say, to give something away here, which I think is actually important, that any of you out there who are offended by seeing violence committed against women, you probably do not want to go see this. But be prepared. If you decide to go see it, be prepared, because something is going to happen that is probably going to shock you and repel you and perhaps even make you very angry. I've been reading some of the comments and reviews on Letterboxd, some of the people I'm connected with and some of the people that I've just been discovering by clicking on the title, Mother. And a lot of people are very, very angry about what this film shows in certain places. And I will say that there are 2 scenes in the film that I cannot get out of my mind. Now, it's not keeping me awake at night, it's not ruining my life, but these were very ugly, graphically dark, depressing, and I think needlessly ugly scenes that I guess Aronofsky felt were completely necessary to push his story forward and get his point across. Okay, he's an artist, he can do it, and I cannot like it, and I didn't. So that's my this is going on almost 10 minutes, which is probably too much. So I'll leave it at that. And if anybody has seen Mother, please give me your impressions, and maybe we can start a conversation. And I promise to listen to and respond respectfully to what anybody wants to say to me. And okay, so anyway, uh, nice seeing you all again. Well, I can't see you. I know you're out there someplace, but anyway, nice being back on YouTube. So take care, folks, and be gentle.